All right, everybody, welcome back to another Paper Gold member win. I am now with Michelle, who bought a storage locker some time ago for $200, and we are going to talk about a book she just sold from that storage locker that she sold for $200, a single book from a storage locker in the middle of the desert. So, Michelle, welcome in, and please
Thank
tell
you.
us a little bit about the history of this book. We know you got it from a storage locker. We'll let you take it from there.
Thanks for having me, Max.
You're welcome.
Yeah, probably about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I went with U-Haul, and I think it was my son that went with me. But we went, and it was right in the middle of the Southern California desert, and it was a storage locker. Every book was covered in dust. They were almost all, there was a lot of vintage magazines and sold a lot of those. A whole bunch of non-ISBN books. I think this was the one where it was somebody who had a bookstore in the 1980s,
Okay.
and they went out of business, and they had been paying monthly on this. It was an outdoor
Sure.
obscure locker, and for like 30, 40 years or something, they've been paying it. So we bought it, and it took a whole lot of effort, and then drove about 350 miles home in a U-Haul with it. And so we've had a whole bunch of great non-ISBN books, and
Mhm.
it takes a little bit longer to go through it, but boy, is it worth it.
Oh yeah.
So
And even though it is a non barcode book, this was still sold on Amazon, correct?
yes, it was sold on Merchant Fulfilled.
Merchant fulfilled. So this
Yeah.
is something you put on Amazon, merchant fulfilled. You kept it in your residence, and someone bought it for $200. A lot of things I'm curious about on this
Mhm.
book. Have you tracked how much you've made from this $200 storage locker since you began selling from it?
Not on paper, but probably 2,000, something like that. And there's a
Beautiful.
lot more left that I
Oh,
haven't
I'm
reported.
I'm sure
So
there is. I'm sure there
they're
is.
everywhere.
And how did you hear about this storage locker? How did you know there were going to be valuable books inside of it, or
It
was
was
it just
on,
on a whim?
oh no, it was on OfferUp, and
Okay.
we had a whole bunch of pictures of it. And
Hmm.
I really examined all the pictures and could see kind of the types of things. They had a
Right.
lot of old Western magazines, vintage magazines, things like that. Um, and knowing that it was a bookstore that had gone out of business, it was a wide range of books I knew. And just contacted the guy and made him an offer, and he accepted it. And he met us out there at the storage locker, and
And you made it all in one trip?
yep.
And
Well, we ended up going, and we went to Hollywood and Southern California and made a vacation out of it. So
okay. And I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to
Mhm.
ask it anyways. You brought the books back home.
Uh-huh.
Did you take them from one storage locker and put them in a warehouse, or did they go into your home to get listed and sold?
They went into a storage locker for a
Okay.
while.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then we moved storage lockers, and then it was probably about 8 months it's been for
Hmm.
sale. At first I had it for 600 because
Right.
somebody else had it for that much.
Yeah.
And then brought it down to 500. Then after a few months, get an offer for 200, and I took it. So
Beautiful. So now if you, I know the book is right there with you.
mhm.
Why don't you show it to the people?
Sure.
Yeah. The apple, I mean, it doesn't look like much of anything, right?
No, you'd never
I
know.
mean, it does have the dust jacket. I believe it is a first edition. Yeah, I believe it is a first edition, and it's probably a very highly sought after book. And have you sold any other books recently from this storage locker?
Not from that, but we did sell one that I got from somebody who cleans out um, homes for
Mhm.
realtors, and kind of a junk dealer.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
and so for about $20, I probably got about 50 non-ISBN books, and one of them was UFOs and the Straight Line Theory, I think it was called. It was a fiction book from the 1950s, and that sold for 200.
Will you stop making so much money from that? I mean, you're gonna have early
It's been
retirement.
It's been an unusually good month.
I
It's not
mean,
normally like that.
for these two books, your ASP is $200.
And then,
I mean, yeah, books change lives. That's what I try to
yeah,
get across to people is selling books can change lives. And I know you're on a phenomenal path right now and you're selling a lot of books.
thank
And
you.
like you just said, this is the best month you've had, and we're
Mhm.
not even in December yet.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So do you
Yeah.
have any advice? Now you've been with Paper Gold for about a year now. Do
Mhm.
you have any advice for people who are doing what you and I do? Book hunting, book sourcing, trying the book sell. Any advice for people that you may have learned from Paper Gold or something you've learned along the way?
Wow, I've learned a lot about using Scout IQ to
Okay.
identify good ISBN books.
Hmm.
Um, I would say really give the non-ISBN ones a try because they really scored for me lately.
Right.
I tend to put those on the back burner, and I
Hmm.
shouldn't because that's where a lot of the money is.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And when you say non-I-SPEN, you also mean non-barcode books.
correct. Yeah, the
Yeah.
vintage, like
Yeah.
19,
So
in
don't
the
ignore them.
late 60s, early
Right.
70s.
Yeah, don't ignore them. And by the book we're talking about today, don't judge a book by its cover. It doesn't look like much of anything, and yet it sold
Mhm.
for $200. And back when I was a teacher, I made $125 a day, so that was more than a day's salary right there.
It's just amazing. Yeah, I'd never know this book was worth anything. Most people would just give it away, but I was
Sure.
lucky enough to investigate it. So,
Well, we're gonna let you get back to the pile of books behind
okay.
you and to over your shoulder that I can
Right.
see. But I thank you for being a Paper Gold member, and that's a phenomenal story. Keep looking for storage lockers in the desert.
Thank you so much. I will. Thanks for having
Bye,
me.
bye, Michelle.
Bye-bye.